Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of April 19th through the 25th, and during most of that week, we have a waxing crescent moon, and that is a really good time of heightened senses, a good time for us to buckle down and start to work on those projects that we've decided to work on during the new moon. So we're making plans and trying to just, ease our way into those things that we're trying to change, trying to live up to our expectations and intentions. We then have our first interrupter of the cycle, which is the first quarter moon, and that comes in on the 24th or 25th, depending on where you are. And this energy might last for a few hours, or it might last for the whole day, where you feel impulsive, impatient, your mind's active. It's just hard to get things done. You might get a little bit frustrated. So remember that is a time when we either need to practice being in control of our impulses, or just kind of take it easy that day, depending on how you want to handle that. But those are the moon energies that you'll be dealing with this week, Sagittarius. So keep those moon energies in mind. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter. So as always, please take what resonates today and leave what doesn't on the table for someone else. And your overall message today for this reading is that you are good enough. So let's see what the Sagittarius Collective has going on that they need to be reminded that they are good enough. So you are good enough. If you haven't heard it yet this week, I'll be the first one. As I'm shuffling the tarot cards, my fun weekly reminder for you, Sagittarius, this week is that you spend some time out in nature. So I know for us, it's been the longest winter here in the Midwest, and it's so nice to have warm weather. I spent some time outside today, and it was just beautiful. And I'll probably be outside this evening as well. But just get out, watch the birds, listen to the animals, listen to some water if you're close. If you need to go to a park, go find a beautiful view somewhere. But just really try to entrench yourself in nature for at least an hour or two. It's just so rejuvenating. It just changes everything. So that is my fun weekly reminder for you, if you're not already an outdoorsy person and out there all the time. So I do tend to be that, especially when the weather's warmer. Not so much in the winter months. But all right, I'll stop babbling and get into this reading. Sagittarius, April 19th through the 25th. You are good enough. Your present energy right now, Ace of Swords. Okay, you're good enough, and you're having some sort of aha moment, some sort of breakthrough this week, where something comes to you and you're like, duh, why didn't I think of that before? So whatever that might be for you, kind of wait for that moment. It could be in any different part of your life, but some sort of again, it's just a mental breakthrough that you're having, that you're like, oh, that's a great idea, right? Little light bulb moment. Your current situation is the Five of Pentacles, which is feeling a little bit like an outsider, which maybe that's what this light bulb moment's about. You're like, oh, I'm feeling that way because of this, and let me go fix this. Anything is fixable. I call this card this is like the comparison is the Thief of Joy card. Why do you feel like an outsider? Why are these people on the outside? I know it's a card of Pentacles. Are you feeling like you're comparing your life to someone else? They have more money, more time, more whatever. And don't do that. You are good enough. You are good enough. And if you feel like you're lacking something because you're comparing to someone else, first don't do that. Just stop and evaluate your own life. Have that idea. How can you make your situation better? Live the life that you want to live, not the life that, what do they say on social media? A lot of times we're seeing people's highlight reel. So don't compare your life to someone's highlight reel. Make your own life your daily highlight reel, right? Just do the things you need to do to make that happen. At the root of your situation is that you're on some sort of new journey here with the Fool card. That's pretty awesome. I mean, there's some new journey that you're on. Hopefully it's some sort of self-improvement journey. And maybe that's why you're at a tarot reading. You're like, look, I'm trying to live my life a little differently. Maybe that was your aha moment. I need to make some changes here. What are those? Sagittarius, you guys tend to be a little bit spontaneous so that you can turn your life around on a dime and be like, look, let's do a change. Let's change this up and let's make it better. So, sometimes again, get out in nature. You might just need to think about some things. What can I change about my life this week? What can I start doing right now that makes my life better so that I'm not comparing myself to others? In your recent past, Sagittarius, is you've been feeling like it's you against the world. Here with the Seven of Wands, and just that constant battle of like people that maybe disagree with you or go in a different direction, then you're probably doing that uphill battle. If you're doing your life a little bit differently, which I know some Sagittarians that do their life very differently than most people. And it's okay. It's okay. You do you. Right? That's the saying. Don't worry about those other people and what those other people think. You have your goals in mind, and you go ahead and you just keep being who you are and being good enough, because you're fine. What's on your mind this week? Queen of Pentacles. So maybe it's about money, and maybe you're thinking, okay, I am comparing myself a little bit, and how do I make more money? I need to bring more material things into this situation, more money. That's something that also you can do. That is a mindset. It's a manifestation mindset. So maybe we see the magician come up in your reading, hopefully. If not this week, maybe next week. But you need to have that kind of have the mindset. If you're stuck in this comparison mindset, you're never manifesting anything. You're manifesting more grief for yourself because you're comparing yourself to others. But if you can get rid of this, take these aha moments where you're like, oh, I have this idea for promoting a thing that I do that's going to make that's where your energy needs to be spent, not on this comparison. What is just ahead of you this week? Wow, Page of Pentacles. Okay. So there you go. If you spend time comparing, you spend all your time comparing. But if you have a great idea and you want to be the Queen of Pentacles, it starts with the page. It starts with some new path, some new something where you're collecting these pentacles. It's just a building of that, right? That's where you start right there. So this is creating some new path for yourself. And it could be, it could be just even within your own career that you're in. It's just that you're going to start doing, it's like you have a shift in attitude. Maybe you ask for that raise. Maybe if maybe you do a little extra something, that you work a few extra hours a day, whatever, wherever it's needed, So think about things you can do, and maybe just look around for things that you can do for extra money, because it's usually out there. It's usually out there to be had. In your advice position here is the Death card, which to me right now, this is just about letting go of an old way of being. And if it is about this comparison or feeling like you're stuck in a rut, this is the card that gets you out of that rut. And anytime we have an ending and decide, I'm not going to be in that rut anymore, I'm going to stop comparing myself. Anytime there's an ending like that we make, what it does is it opens up that space for something else. So if you stop comparing, and we call that an ending, opens up the space for those new ideas to come through, and the space for the, oh, how can I make more money to come through so that I can be the Queen of Pentacles, is working out perfectly in my eyes in this reading. What is beyond your control this week? Lots of choices. So now that you've awakened to this and you say, okay, I'm on this new path and this new way of being. I'm usually fighting against the world anyway. I'm going to stop comparing myself and be the Queen of Pentacles and see how I can make more money. I'm going to let go of this negative way of thinking. Look at all the choices I have. Look at all the choices. That tarot reader I heard, she was absolutely right. She told me to look around for choices. She told me to ask for overtime at work. She told me to promote the side thing that I do better so that I can get more clients to come in. She told me I could do that. And look, she is right. I do have a lot of choices. So I'm going to take a few of those choices and put those into action this week. This week and next week, I'm going to do those things. And honestly, in a few weeks, I'll start to see the returns on that. So just saying, got to get out there, got to do it. It's work, but you got to do it. What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Well, of course, your secret desire is to celebrate this new you, to not be in this negative mindset, not comparing with others, and then go spread the word to your friends. Maybe they're doing it too, and say, well, you know what? Let's start a club. We're not going to be like that anymore. We're going to be positive, and we're going to uplift, and we're not going to compare ourselves to others. Let's compare ourselves to ourselves. What is yourself now as compared to yourself last year? Are you making improvements in different areas of your life? We should always be pushing to just be better and be the thing that we actually really desire in the end to be. In your outcome position, Sagittarius, is the High Priestess. Perfect. If you follow your intuition and if you listen to the universe and watch for those signs, for those signals, for those intuitions, these choices become so much easier because they're there. They just kind of become more clear, and you start to see, oh, well, that's obvious. Why didn't I know? That's right. I can go over there and do this thing. So those choices just become more obvious, and you're just following the carrots of the universe. It's over here saying, hey, it's whispering, right? Close your eyes, get in nature, so that you can hear those whispers of the universe saying, hey, come over here. Come over here and do this thing. You're going to be successful over here. We're not comparing over here. We're being successful over here. We're making ourselves better, and we're comparing to our old self. What is hidden from you this week, Sagittarius? Queen of Cups. So you might be a little bit emotional, and you might be a little bit kind of confused by your own emotions and also the emotions of people around you. It's not going to be your primary thing to be really understanding about emotions, and it's almost like you're going through them. And even me telling you right now, you're like, nah, I don't know if I can get on board with that, but I think I think you can emotionally. Again, it's about taking that first step. So be that new journey, be the new journey, and be the person that you're setting out to be, and make those changes that you need to. Let's get you a final word here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message for Sagittarius as they figure out that they are good enough. Stop comparing. All right, the card that you get, Sagittarius, is to choose friends wisely. Right there they are. Those are your people, and you know who they are, but choose them wisely. Make sure that they have the same kind of attitude that you do. What is it that, when you surround your people with people that when you surround yourself with people that you want to be like, of course you become more like those people. So if you have people around you that are just being negative and they do compare and they're like, look at so and so over there that da 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 da, that maybe that's not the people to hang around with. But these people, they're having fun. We're celebrating each other. We're celebrating again, moving through life and making changes that are positive. So, all right, let's get you a self-care wisdom card is what I was trying to say, to see what you need to do in the way of self-care this week. Self-care for Sagittarius, and the card that you get is the card called Action. I don't even think I remember seeing this card. Baby steps are still steps, and they're better than standing still. Take baby steps. That's the perfect card. It's the perfect way to wrap up this reading. Baby steps to get to where you want. You've had this idea. Go ahead and move forward with it. You're going to let go of this old way of being and just move into something more positive and more spiritual, really. You're going to listen to that high priestess more, that inner voice. Pay attention to those dreams that are out there. Pay attention to synchronicities that come up. In fact, I didn't look in this reading to see if I don't have any number repeaters in this reading, but angel numbers that come to you, that sort of thing. Let the universe kind of guide you. It starts to make sense once you start to read that language. So, Sagittarius, thank you so much for being here. I hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below and let me know if there's anything here that resonated, or if you had questions about anything. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe, I really appreciate that. I thank you so much in advance for doing that. I couldn't do that without people doing that for me. So thank you so much. And it'll help you find me next week. So come on back and let's see where this story goes. So thanks so much, Sagittarius. See you next time. Bye-bye.